My name is Patrick DeRosa. I'm a partner sales executive based in Tampa, Florida. Been with Microsoft 5 years, and I'm super excited to co-facilitate this session with, and I'll let Onur, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Yes, my name is Onur Doğruz, and I'm a partner technology strategist in the TS2 team in the SMB&D organization, working closely with Patrick and, of course, our colleagues. And yeah, today we'll be touching on the Office 365, and we'll have some demos around the BI capabilities that we have in the new tools.
Excellent. Well, again, welcome. This is our Q4 at Microsoft. This is probably the funnest time of the year, of course, for all of you who really make it happen for our customers in the field. Our agenda is quite simple. We've already accomplished one thing in terms of talking about introductions, but today we're going to provide really three high-level areas. We're going to talk about, first of all, an overview of the Power BI stack. For a lot of partners, and probably more so for customers, it may not be as clear on what our capabilities are, which are quite powerful. So we're just going to provide a high-level overview. And as Onur just mentioned, we're going to give you a demo. So we're going to show you how these tools work, how your customers can be more productive and gain more insights into the data that they actually have in-house. And then we'll leave a little bit of time to review, some questions that you may have. So we'll do a little bit of Q&A, and also talk about some active incentives. If time permits, we'll talk about what offers we have in market right now to help you sell. So hopefully you're good with that. We're going to get started with, again, an overview of the Power BI stack, and it really kind of speaks to the presence Microsoft has worldwide. If you really think about it, we have over 1 billion users using Office. And so what that represents for all of you is a really, really big opportunity in terms of each of these users getting the ability to have and gain insights on the data points that they have in their business. I'm a field person at Microsoft, and so my job is to partner with all of you on this call to help you, to enable you, to support you, to help you sell more. And internally, as a field representative, I get to use these tools every day. In fact, to make this real for everyone on this call, just like every business, there's a monthly business review. And so I need to pull out insights about certain trends that I'm seeing with my particular partners, whether it's Server 2003 end of support that's coming up in just less than 90 days. How is my Office 365 business trending? How is my on-premise business trending as it relates to cloud? There's many different
I forward you the series. I hope the audio works for you. It's not working for me.
So we'll need to mute someone. You can kind of hear someone speaking. Please make sure you mute yourself. If you have questions, do so in the IM window in the bottom left-hand corner. But, again, the whole theme is around these three pillars around discovery, analyze, and visualize. The point here that we want to make overall is that our stack allows customers to do just that, to do it freely without having
Patrick, I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Sorry about that.
Yes. Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. So apologies for that. So back to this slide, and let me just make sure we hit the salient points that are in here. Again, billion users who are leveraging Office, specifically Excel, the ability to get their own insights on their own without having an analyst do it for them. So that self-service capability is definitely applicable for every particular user. And I think what makes it even more powerful is the collaboration tools with Office 365 that allow you to not only share it, but also, again, in the collaboration format, have that discussion about the data points to gain more insights. And then even more powerful is the ability to have mobility to be able to leverage data points that are in the cloud or even on-prem. That's something that's very powerful with the tools that we offer in our Power BI stack. What we're going to review today in the demo, and we'll spend a lot more time in that particular section, so that you really, for a lot of folks, it's about getting those insights visually. But we'll show you how you can discover using Power Query, the ability to search using public and private data points to be able to come up with insights using our Power Query tool. That is very powerful. One tool that I use all the time to analyze data is Power Query. Right? And so what's really critical, and you'll hear Onur emphasize this even more, is the ability to leverage over, really hundreds of millions of rows. A lot of you probably know with Excel, just in itself, you're limited to about 1 million rows. Onur can probably correct me on that, but imagine doing the analysis on hundreds of millions of rows. That is quite powerful, and to use public data is something that we'll be able to demonstrate to you today, to look at, airfares if you're looking at trends in that route, or perhaps you're looking at tax trends. To be able to touch the public data that's out in the cloud and analyze it within your BI interface is quite powerful. And then the visualization to use Power Maps is quite incredible, to be able to make it real in terms of looking at one restaurant in a particular district versus another. And to be able to really click on something to make it dynamic is very powerful with the tools that we have. So I think we're good to go with the overview of the Power BI stack. I do want to emphasize once again is that the collaboration with Office 365 really makes this really land and resonate with your customers. We have really thousands, if not millions, of customers using Office 365 around the world. There is a huge opportunity to see Power BI tools in the Power BI stack right now, and we'll make sure to kind of review those salient points before we wrap up today. So I guess let's get right into the demo, and Onur, if you want to take over presenting and show us what you got. Again, want to highlight to everyone on this call, if you have questions, please put it through the IM window. We're here to help you on this call today. Onur, you get the floor.
Thank you so much, Patrick. My desktop should be loading now. Can you see it? I guess it's loaded by now. So if you look at the so let me get this out of the way so you can see the top bar as well. Of course, everything starts with Excel, right? As Patrick mentioned during his overview, there are lots of customers out there, the billions of users of Excel and Office Suite for that matter. But in Excel, we all do the tables, pivot tables, charting, all that rich Excel functionality. With the new Power BI stack, actually they're all built into the Excel tool, so you don't actually need to learn a new tool, or you'll not be going into a new interface or anything like that. There are a couple things to look at first, right? If you're using Office 2013, these tools are built in. The only tool that you need to download will be the Power Query, which will be showing as a tab inside the Excel. The Power Pivot and other Power BI tools that Patrick mentioned will all be showing up as a part of your Excel. And in order to just enable the Power Pivot, basically you just need to go to the options, add-ins, and from there you'll be seeing the add-ins. And if you check this mark and OK, you'll see that the Power Pivot will show up in the Excel, inside the Excel as a tab. But the first thing is really getting the data into your Excel model. Previously we were using some different import methods, and you can always, of course, get data using the standard data tab. But the Power Query will give you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to pull data into your model, or how you want to shape data. Right? It's pulling the data in is one thing, but pulling the data in with the right format and with everything is another one. So here's a quick overview of the Power Query. I installed the latest version of the Power Query, so you can see all the options available today, right now. So we have the, of course, the online search capability. I can get data into my Excel workbook or to my Power Pivot model from a file, from a database, from an Azure source, or from other sources. And it's quite interesting because you can use basically anything as a data source, right? You can be, if you want to analyze something on your Active Directory, you can. If you want to use maybe a SharePoint list as your data source, you can just select that. Or, if you don't know the data, right, where the data resides, you can just do an online search, and it's actually pretty powerful. For example, if you are going to analyze something around the major airports in the U.S., I just did a quick online search here, and in the online search, you can see I have some results coming from different data sources like Wikipedia or different sources on the web, right? And you can also have a quick preview of the table, what it looks like. And once you click Edit from there, the new query editor window pops up, right? And it shows me basically the preview of the data that I want to pull in. And you can shape the data right here before even taking that data into your model, right? So let's say I don't want these columns, so I can just remove the columns from my data. Maybe you want to add another column. Maybe you want to see the city and state as a couple instead of two different columns. So I'll just go ahead and add column, and I'll basically add a custom column for that. And you can, of course, use some formulas, or we have built-in formulas that you can automatically use. But just to show you how easy it is, I'll just use a column and another one and merge them here. So like Excel, they're pretty much same, right? So I'll use something like this. Okay, and as you see, I have created a new column based on the other columns, and I can just rename this this column by quickly hitting rename, and maybe I call it city or location, let's say, and I can now get rid of these columns as well. As you see, in just a couple clicks, without really knowing anything, in terms of query language or coding, I pulled the data and I created the view that I want to use, and I can now just put this data into my Excel workbook like that. Super easy. And of course, from here, you can just create your pivot tables. You can start analyzing the data. But the other thing is, if you have, of course, if you have like maybe a couple hundred rows or even a couple 100,000 rows of data, it's easy to use Excel, right? But what if you have millions of rows of data, right? We're in the in an age that you're dealing with a lot of different data types and lots of data, the Excel has a limitation of 1 million rows in a table. And if you're dealing with the large data sets, the Power Query or the Excel capabilities will not be enough. So instead of putting this data into the Excel workbook or the worksheet directly, you can also put this data into the data model inside the Power Pivot, and that's where the Power Pivot shines, right? The Power Pivot is an another Excel capability. It's built into the Excel, as I mentioned, and you don't have to worry about downloading a plugin or anything like that. You just need to enable that, and the Power Pivot can handle hundreds of millions of rows of data. The only limitation with the Power Pivot is the memory you have, the amount of memory you have on the laptop, or if you're running the Office or the Excel on a server, the amount of memory on that particular hardware, right? Other than that, you don't have any limitations, and it's basically super fast, and you can just quickly create different data models. You can create some measures and stuff. And here's actually a different file that I can show you, which is already built. And this is coming from one of our partners, Audience. They're an ISV. And if you look at their models that they created, in the Power Pivot, they have couple different tables. They created these measures, and if you look at their diagram with the model, they created this model so they have all these relationships between the models. But again, depending on what you want to use, you may want to introduce Power Pivot into your model, or you can just stick with the Power Query and the Excel worksheet workbooks. And from there, once you have your model ready, once you pull the data in and shape the model, you can just go ahead and insert a Power View report into the Excel directly, right? Here is one example based on that model. We have these nice charts. They're looking very nice and clean, but these are not just static charts. You can just click on any part in the view, and you'll be able to interact with the chart, right? And if you select different things, you'll be seeing that the other parts of the charts will also be filtered and will be highlighted. And this is another example of the Power View. We have pictures embedded into this, and I can basically see the different sales numbers by the different sales reps inside the company, and I can track their performance, the best-selling products, and things like that very, very easily in a very efficient way. And the good news is this is not just for Excel. You can also take this into the Power BI for Office 365 and share with your team, so they don't have to really deal with individual Excel files or anything like that, right? So everything can be hosted on a SharePoint site for maximum interactivity and also collaboration. And of course, if you have a lot of geographic data, the other component is the Power Map. And you can quickly create very nice visuals using the Power Map and with the visual data, and you can create your own tours. That's what we call them, because you can actually play the data on it. If you have a time sequence in your data, like maybe it's sales data or something like that, you can just visualize all that changes inside your data by adding that location data and the time sequence to your Power Map tour. And in this scenario, this tour is showing up the stores that this company is opening over the time of the over the years, right? Here, as you can see, they're just expanding really fast in the East Coast. And that's the Excel part, right? Today we'll be really focusing on the Excel piece. There's another another session coming around the Power BI, but I want to really quickly show you the new Power BI preview site. Here, as you may have heard, we have done a couple changes to the Power BI service and also the pricing model. If you go to the powerbi.com site, you'll see this new site, right? And all you need is a work email to start with the Power BI. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to even purchase anything, because now in the new model we have a free Power BI model where you can see the features, different features and functionalities here. And there's a premium offering which offers even more capabilities, and we call that Power BI Pro, and that will be a $10 user per month service. But if you go into the service, since I'm already signed up for the service, I'll just sign in. If you go to the service, once you sign in, you'll be seeing a nice, very nice looking dashboard in front of you. And this data is based on the file that I showed you. Basically, I can upload my reports to the Power BI site, and I can still interact with all the different views I created. But if I like a part of the report, let's say you really like this and you want to see this all the time in your view, you can just push this to pin this chart to your dashboard, and this will be the way your dashboard looks. Of course, you can still change the size of your dashboard items, and you can move things around. So you can basically create your own dashboards very quickly, and you can share this view with your colleagues and even outside the company, if you will. With that, I think we can go back to the slides, Patrick.
Oh, this was a great, Onur, this was a great demo. I hope those who joined the call thought the same. Pretty powerful stuff. If I have Excel, for the most part, I can do all of the things that you showed me. And to know that, there's over 1 billion people worldwide using Excel, that's pretty powerful and compelling. Even better is the Power BI capabilities in this freemium opportunity. And so let me go ahead and present the PowerPoint deck one more time, which is loading right now. Looks like it's just loading. We'll just pause just for a few moments so that everyone can see it. Just progress it back through and kind of wrap things up here with. And Onur, did you want to talk to this slide briefly before I finish the rest?
Yes. Well, so if you think about the whole business intelligence stack that we have, of course, there's that SQL components in place, and there's the Excel components, and now we have this new Power BI preview service in the Office 365. But really, if you want to start from somewhere, if you don't have any BI practice or anything, just don't be confused. Just get started with the Excel components. Get familiar with the Power BI, Power Query, Power View, Power Pivot, and then whenever you have things in the Excel, you can just quickly push those out to Power BI and basically create those dashboards, reports very, very, very easily, right? It's the, I think it's the key message. If you have a SQL practice, that's also great. You can combine that knowledge with the things on the Excel side, and you can create these compelling reports, compelling views, and analysis very, very quickly.
Hey, Onur, what I see at the top right-hand corner that it calls out iOS, Android. What are the key things to draw from that?
Yeah, it's a great call out, Patrick. So the thing is, we're not just building these tools or the views for Windows platforms, right? When you have your dashboards or these different views in place, they can be consumed from any type of device, right? We have the mobile clients for these different platforms, and or if you're on a device, let's say you're on a Mac and you're using Safari, you can still consume most of the stuff, right? So that's the beauty of it. You don't have to be a consumer on the Windows platform.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And so to kind of take us home, I do want to highlight some of the incentives that we have in market. I won't go and explain all of this, but I do want to highlight essentially the title and how partners that are affiliated with Microsoft and Office 365 can earn up to 52% in essentially in margin or incentives from us. And this is essentially running in some cases between now and the end of May, and others for the end of June. But definitely talk with your distributor, talk with your partner sales executive. If you don't know who that is, feel free to reach out to me at pduros, P-D-U-R-O-S, at Microsoft.com, and we'll find out the person that is responsible for you. This slide kind of talks in more detail about the previous slide. And you'll find out the dates as I called out. You'll find out which ones you have to claim versus those that you do not. But the key thing is that right now is the richest amount of incentives that we have. And so to take us home in terms of call to action, get familiar with Power BI, check out the site, but then see Power BI, at least the freemium offer, with every one of your customers. Virtually everyone is using Excel. It is the gold standard. Start showing them the Power BI capabilities in our stack, and then obviously leverage the Q4 offers that we have in market. Well, we're at the top of the 30 minutes that we had. Thank you very much for joining our call today, and feel free to reach out to us if you have deals that you need to help close.